I'm 17 now. But what happened when I was 13 still sticks in my head like a scar that never healed. Back then, it was just me and my mom living in a quiet neighborhood called Maple Creek Ridge. She worked long double shifts at the hospital, so I spent most days alone. That summer, running became my escape, something to fill the empty hours and clear my head. I was a lanky, awkward kid with wild hair and a knack for overthinking everything. 13's that weird age, too old for toys, too young to do anything meaningful. Our neighborhood was massive, stretching across hills and turns, with maybe 100 homes total. We lived toward the far edge, near the new constructions where the roads still smelled like asphalt. That Tuesday afternoon in July was warm but breezy, perfect running weather. I had my headphones in, zoning out as I jogged along the curved main road that tied the neighborhood together. About 10 minutes in, I spotted a man walking a dog. What caught my attention first wasn't the man, but the leash, bright pink, glowing against the dull pavement. The man looked to be in his late 40s, tall, broad-shouldered, the kind of build that said he'd been strong once, even if life had softened him a bit. The dog, though, was tiny, barely bigger than a loaf of bread, bouncing with every step. The contrast almost made me laugh. When I got close enough, the little dog started wagging so hard her entire body moved. The man smiled and called out, "Would you like to pet her?" I hesitated, but the dog looked too happy to resist. I slowed to a stop, took out my earbuds, and nodded. "Sure, if that's okay." "Of course," he said warmly. "Her name's Pixie?" I crouched down, letting Pixie sniff my hand before scratching behind her ears. Her fur was impossibly soft. For a moment, it was just peaceful sunlight, soft panting, and the faint sound of cicadas. "She really likes you," the man said above me. "She's adorable," I replied. "How old is she?" 3. "I've had her since she was a pup." He seemed friendly enough. My mom always said that people who were kind to animals usually had good hearts. For a few seconds, I believed that. Then I stood to leave. "Well, thanks for letting me say hi to her. I should probably keep running." That's when his voice changed. "Do you live around here?" It wasn't the question, it was the tone. Too direct, too curious. It didn't sound like small talk. It sounded like he needed to know. A chill went down my back. Yeah, somewhere around here," I said vaguely. Our neighborhood was huge. That answer should have been enough, but his eyes didn't move from me. "Where exactly?" That's when something in my gut screamed run. I took a small step back, pretending to stretch. Closer to the front, I lied, pointing toward the older section with the tall oaks. He nodded slowly. "Nice houses up there," he said. His face didn't match his tone. The smile stayed, but the warmth was gone. I felt my palms sweating. I didn't owe this man anything, yet some stupid sense of politeness rooted me in place. 13-year-old me still thought I had to be nice to adults. He tilted his head, still studying me. "I walk Pixie through there sometimes," he said softly. "Maybe I've seen you before." I forced a smile. "Maybe." My voice cracked. "Anyway, I really should get going now." Then he said it, casual, quiet, wrong. "Do you have a boyfriend?" Every hair on my neck stood up. The world narrowed to a single thought. Get away. I will not tolerate this. I yelled, louder than I knew I could. My voice echoed down the street, bouncing off the houses. Pixie jumped and yelped, startled. The man froze. His face flickered between surprise and anger. I didn't wait to see which one. I turned and ran, sprinted faster than I'd ever moved in my life. I didn't look back. Every instinct screamed that if I did, he'd be right behind me. I didn't stop until I hit the main road that looped toward the front of the neighborhood. Even then, I kept moving, weaving between streets, cutting through yards and hopping fences, desperate to make sure he couldn't follow. It took me 20 exhausting minutes to get home. My lungs burned, my hands shook, and I checked behind me every few seconds, expecting to see that flash of pink in the distance. But no one came. For weeks, I avoided running altogether. When I finally went out again, I changed my routes, different streets, different times. But I never saw him or Pixie again. Not once. Sometimes, I still wonder if I overreacted, if maybe he was just weird, not dangerous. But then I remember his eyes. That too long stare, the way his smile broke when I shouted, And I know, deep down, I didn't overreact. I listened to my instincts, and they probably saved my life. Now, 4 years later, whenever someone smiles too long or asks one too many questions, I still hear that voice in my head. Where exactly do you live? And I remember to keep running. It happened just 2 nights ago, and honestly, I'm still shaking when I think about it. It was around 3:07 a.m. when I woke up, drenched in that half-sleep fog where nothing feels real. My husband, Ryan, was on another overnight shift at the hospital, so it was just me in the house. I remember staring at the ceiling for a while, trying to convince myself I could fall back asleep. But something felt off, like when you suddenly know you're being watched, even if no one's there. That sinking weight in my stomach wouldn't go away. Then quietly, almost like someone whispering through water, I heard it. A voice, faint, words I couldn't make out. I froze. My throat went dry. I wasn't dreaming. It came again, just a few muffled syllables from the hallway right outside my bedroom. Hello? My own voice came out cracked and small. No reply. By then, my body had gone into full panic mode. My pajama top clung to my skin with sweat, and I could feel every single heartbeat echoing in my ears. But I had to see. I had to make sure. So, I grabbed a comforter around my shoulders like it could protect me and stepped out into the hallway. Every step on the wooden floor sounded deafening. The whispering was clearer now, a soft murmur, like someone talking just behind the wall. Then I noticed the light, a bluish glow spilling out from the living room. I hadn't left any lights on. I crept closer, every instinct screaming at me to stop. But curiosity and fear dragged me forward. When I peeked around the corner, I saw it. In the far corner of the room, next to my grandmother's mirror, stood a figure. Not a person. Not really. It was shaped like one, tall and thin, but darker than the shadows around it, the kind of black that swallows light whole. It wasn't moving, just watching. The whispering stopped. Then the figure shifted. It turned its head toward the mirror. Slowly, and I swear I saw something move inside the reflection. That broke me. I dropped to the floor and crawled, not walked. Crawled back to my bedroom like my life depended on it. My knees slammed into the floor, and I scraped my shins on the doorframe. But I didn't stop until I was under the blanket, gasping for air like I'd just run a marathon. I lay there all night, drenched in sweat, shaken so badly the bed rattled beneath me. Every creak of the house sounded like footsteps. Every gust of wind outside felt like breathing. When sunlight finally touched the blinds, I cried. My alarm went off at 6:30 a.m., and I immediately called my boss, telling her I had food poisoning. I couldn't even form proper sentences, my voice still trembling from the night before. We'd only moved into this house a month ago, and that was the first night I realized something might already be living here, something that only comes out when I'm alone. Now, I can't look at that mirror anymore, and I swear, even during the day, it sometimes hums.